Hello friends, I am Dr. Madhukar Jadhav. In previous lecture, we have studied regarding various reactors for the treatment of sludge. In this lecture, we are going to study regarding methods to treat and disposal of sludge, in that thickening or concentration, gravity thickeners, sludge dewatering and sludge drying beds. So starting with the introduction. The sludge resulting from wastewater treatment processes and operation is usually in the form of liquid or semi-liquid, which typically contains from 25 to 12% of solids. Sludge is loaded mostly with putrescible organic substances. The high organic content of the sludge demands further treatment prior to its final disposal either on the land or into the sea. The methods to treat and dispose of sludge are classified below. First one, thickening or concentration, digestion or stabilization, conditioning, dewatering, drying, incineration or thermal reduction, and ultimate disposal. So out of these, thickening, dewatering and drying, that is sludge drying beds, are in our syllabus. So we are going to study these in details. So first of all, sludge thickening. The typical water content of the wastewater treatment sludge remains between 97% to 99.5%, means only 3 to 0.5% solids are there and remaining totally water is there. The dry solids content of the secondary sludge is about 0.5 to 1%, while primary sludge have a dry solid content of about 4%. Sludge thickening is the process by which solids are condensed to increase the dry solid content of the sludge by reducing the water content with low energy input. Thickening wastewater solids reduces the volume of residuals, improve operation and reduces cost for subsequent storage, processing, transfer and end use or final disposal of the sludge. Gravity or mechanical thickening devices may be used to treat primary sludge, secondary sludge or a mixture of primary and secondary sludge. Thickening or concentration. Thickening or concentration thickening is a procedure used to increase thickening of the sludge. Can be done by three techniques: gravity technique, flotation technique and centrifugation thickening. So out of these, gravity thickening is in our syllabus, so we are going to study this gravity thickeners in detail. Next, gravity thickener. The easiest way to reduce the water content of a sludge with a low energy consumption is the gravity thickeners. Similar to center feed circular sedimentation tank in appearance with a more steep floor slope. So whatever these gravity thickeners are there, they are similar to our centrally feed circular sedimentation tank in appearance, and the slope given at the bottom is steeper than the ordinary sedimentation tank. Sludge is pumped to the tank equipped with a slowly rotating rake mechanism which breaks the junction between the sludge particles and therefore increases the settling and compaction capacity. The total sludge volume can be reduced by up to 90% from the original volume by the process called as gravity thickeners. So this is the gravity thickener sketch, in which there is a tank which is similar to shape in ordinary sedimentation tank, in which the sludge is applied like this, and here there are some arrangement by which the thickening of the sludge takes place, and whatever the we can say liquid is there or water is there, it is situated at the top and it is taken out through this weir, and the thickened sludge is taken out through this pipe, we can say. So here the scraper blade arrangement is there, and by rotating that scraper blades, whatever the water is there, it can be removed from the sludge, and that water comes at the top, and thickened sludge is stored at the bottom and it is taken out through this sludge pipe. Next, gravity thickener is accomplished in a tank similar in design to a conventional sedimentation tank. Thickeners are either continuous flow type or maybe fill and draw type with or without addition of chemicals. Continuous flow type of thickeners are mostly deep circular tanks with a side water depth of about 3 meter and steeply sloping towards the whopper. So this is the whopper. Dilute sludge is fed to the central feed well. The feed sludge is allowed to settle and compact, and thickened sludge is withdrawn from the bottom of the tank through a pipe. Tank wall supports a truss type scraper arm, steers the sludge gently, thereby opening of channel for water to escape from the sludge and promote the desiccation of the sludge. The thickened sludge that collects on the bottom of the tank is pumped to the digester or dewatering equipment as and when required, and hence storage space must be provided for the sludge to accumulate in the sludge tank. So this is the another we can say arrangement for the gravity thickeners, through which this is the feed pipe in which we can say sludge is coming, and here there is a we can say feed well, and as it is heavy it flows in downward direction, and there is a arrangement by which we can rotate the sludge, and due to that the waters can escape from the sludge and it can be taken upward motion, we can say, and then it is taken out through this overflow pipe, and the thickened sludge takes the downward direction and it can be taken out through this pipe. Next, sludge dewatering. Digested sludge is usually dewatered before disposal or further processing. Dewatered sludge can be handled as a solid material even though it still contains significant amount of water, maybe more than we can say 70% of water and 30% of the sludge. Sludge drying bed is the arrangement which provides the simplest method of dewatering of the sludge. However, it requires large land area. Therefore, at places, other alternatives such as centrifuges or mechanical dewatering system are used for dewatering of the sludge. Centrifuges and belt filter or belt presses are some of the most popular dewatering methods in municipal wastewater treatment plants due to their good performance and cost efficiency. Chamber filter presses or screw presses are also used for dewatering of the sludge, but they are relatively expensive compared to the other presses and are used more in industrial applications. So, most important application which is used for dewatering of sludge is the sludge drying bed. A digested sludge slurry is spread on an open bed of a sand, typically supported on gravel, and allowed to remain until the sludge gets dry. Combination of evaporation and gravity drainage process makes this sludge dry, means evaporation due to sunlight takes place and some water may percolate through the gravel beds. These are the two major processes which are taking place. Majority of liquid drains off through the sand in the first few hours, after which drying occurs due to evaporation. The drained liquid is collected through a pipe network built under the sand and is pumped back to the head of the we can say treatment plant. The drying period usually varies between 6 to 2 weeks depending upon the sludge characteristics and the climatic conditions including temperature, rainfall, wind velocity and relative velocity in that area. After drying, the sludge cake further shrinks, producing cakes that accelerate evaporation of again water. Under adverse weather condition, it may take to 4 weeks also. Next slide. Sludge dewatering is typically forced on reducing the weight and volume of the sludge so that disposal cost including transportation are kept to a minimum. Dewatering of sludge increases the calorific value of the incineration of the sludge. Also, dewatering of sludge reduces the probability of leachate generation of the sludge. So, this is the one sketch of sludge drying bed and the cross section is somewhat like this. Here the sand layer is there, here the under drainage system is there and this is the under drain through which dewatered or water is taken out. So, this is all about the we can say today's lecture.